brand new fletching activity in Valimar the Final Dawn. This will be the third update of Valimar coming later this year in 2025. But hey, we get a sneak peek of this right now, and let me tell you, I am so excited. As someone who recently just quit leagues because of how much I didn't want to bother grinding fletching, this is exactly what we could hope for. This is exactly what I was just talking about in this tier list that I just made here, talking about how fletching really is like borderline revamp needed. And I am so excited for this update to go over with you guys. And so without further ado, let's dive in. Hi, I'm Guilty. Thanks for joining us today. So this activity, and just to save you guys from having to read word vomit, I'll probably have some background footage going on, is going to essentially have us in Valimar crafting totems along a certain path or trail. And these totems are actually going to attract Ents towards it, which is such a cool thing that we get to see Ents again that are outside of essentially the wilderness. And these Ents, I'm assuming, are going to be peaceful creatures, but when they come over, we're actually going to be able to go and recycle our bows. So that is such an amazing thing that any bows that you have already made that are unstrung, you can now recycle them to these Ents on these totems by essentially decorating it, is what they're saying. And it is a way for us to really fix the skill of fletching. Fletching produces an ungodly amount of bows that really you're forced to either high out, sell to shops, or just sell in the GE. It's kind of crazy. Again, RuneScape 3 has had their own thing that they tried to do with this. It's essentially known as invention, but anyway, we don't need to get into that today. So I'm just extremely excited for this, that this is going to be a whole new way for us to train fletching. It's a way for us to recycle content, or well, bows that we've made that we no longer need. And what's really cool about it, as we can see down here, is they have a ton of potential rewards that they want your feedback on, which again, Jagex just does such a good job with this. Again, to briefly cover them, the first one is a bowstring spool, which is essentially going to give you the ability to put up to 270 strings, or in other words, allow you to do 27 bows at a time, greatly increasing your AFK time making bows. I think that's an amazing idea. I really can't see any negative behind that. This is one that's kind of fascinating to me. It's called the Fletching knife. So the Fletching knife is essentially going to be an improved knife compared to our basic knife that they're making a joke here you've been doing for 23 years. And so yeah, with this Fletching knife, it's just going to slightly increase your fletching speed by increasing the tick down to 2 ticks, 20% chance. So it's not even guaranteed, but you will see in the long run that this will save you time. Certainly something that will be I would say game breaking to fletching. Everyone would certainly need to go about getting this if again you want to level your fletching as quick as possible. But I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. It kind of makes sense that we're not just using one basic knife. But now we're kind of down to some of these fun things here. So again, primitive whittling blade plans. This is perhaps my favorite idea that they've suggested here, because it's going to be tying into forestry. We all kind of have mixed feelings about forestry, but with this reward, it'd be something that would be tying into forestry, that we'd be getting fletching experience as our logs would convert over into a fletched bow or fletched arrows. With a slight delay. So that's a great way that again you would have to buy these, but you'd be able to convert them over, get your bows made for you. Really great idea. Then there's a whole hunting method here that would basically mean that your traps don't fail as often. So hey, less interaction, more FK. I think we all love that. I don't know why that wouldn't pass, but again, maybe you guys do. Access to an extra Slayer area that you'll be able to use, and of course Auburn darts. So we are going to get potentially a whole new range weapon here. They're not really too sure about any of these, of course, but the idea here that it would either have binding effects that root the target or non-stacking attack and defense. Really, it's going to seem like it's going to have some great PVM potential. They're not too sure which way they're going to go. And so they're actually asking for your feedback all the way down here. You can simply go on to their page, on their news update, and click here to give feedback on it. Very janky looking pole to say the least there, so I already put mine in there. And then an auburn seed and a green mask for you to update or decorate your player own house. Again, in that video I mentioned earlier that I threw up on the screen, our tier list, construction is one of my all-time favorite skills now. I would say that, again, more cosmetic things like this, more ways for you to customize your home is awesome. If they're able to add ways to make it more useful, great, like, or extra little bonuses. But hey, sufficient to say we all love some cosmetics, right? So what do you guys think about this? I think this is really an amazing thing for Fletching. The whole idea that really just you're making an ungodly amount of bows in this game for really no reason, unless you're like, ticking darts as fast as you can. That I think this is really good. I think this could be a really great thing. It would be limited to level 50, by the way. And yeah, it's something that I guess is kind of tied into Valimore. So maybe that would be the biggest negative, is like a whole new way to really recycle your content and to train your fletching, and you have to go to Valimore to do it. And maybe for region locked accounts, or for even just beginners who aren't familiar with how to get there. But all in all, I think ideas like this are amazing. I really hope we see this pass. But tell me your ideas, tell me your thoughts in the comments. Of course, I don't want to see it be something broken that completely makes obsolete other training methods. You don't have to recycle your bows either, but I would say that I think that's the real benefit of this. More training methods are always cool, but the fact that we're finding a way to recycle in content that already exists is just genius. We need this for skills in RuneScape. It's just a way to make them, again, more entertaining, more fun. Why have skill be boring? So I can't wait to hear what you guys say. What do you guys think about it? Which one of these rewards are you most excited about? I probably already kind of showed my bias here a little bit with the blade plans to make forestry more interesting. Fletching knife seems really cool. The bowstring, like, I don't really string a lot of bows, but maybe you do. And of course, some more melee weapons is always a great idea. Don't forget to give their feedback. Look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. And so excited to see this coming later in 2025. God bless. Bye bye.